Rutherford is sparking mariners Raktigino. There was a Bolian masseur on Deep Space Nine's promenade, and Jonathan Archer is a big Starfleet nerd. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton.
Yeah, hello.
My name is Ryan T. Husk. That there is Melissa Longo.
Yeah,
and today,
hello.
we're doing a review of Star Trek Lower Deck Season 5, Episode 9. Boy, that's a ticking clock. Episode is called Fissure Quest, written by Lauren McGuire, directed by Melissa. Is it our pal?
Brandon Williams.
That's the one. Brandon Williams, the one and only, our very good friend. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Great. Doing good.
So let's jump into this.
Kind of. It's bittersweet.
Yeah,
Seeing as this is episode 9.
I know.
Coming to the end.
It went fast. This season went fast.
It did.
Too fast.
And is this the first two-parter that we've got? Feels like the first two-parter.
I think they had one to be continued, maybe bridging seasons or at the end of a season, but this might only be the second or third. I mean, they don't usually do it.
Oh, with Nick Locarno. There's kind
Oh,
of...
yeah. A follow-up on there, yes.
Right.
So this also seemed like it had the most non-appearance mentions. My goodness. They were just rattling those off. And the most guest stars. What?
Epic ones.
We had T'Pol, and we had Garrick, and we had Sid, right? Bashir. We had Harry Kim, and who was the other one?
Lily Sloan.
Lily from... So, Sirach, that's Lily Sloan from Star Trek First Contact. That is one of the movies. That, in my opinion, it's my favorite of the movies by far. Star Trek movies. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I love her. her. And
I know her voice
Woodard.
Though. Is that who it is? Alfred Woodard.
Yeah.
Yes, Alfred Woodard.
She did it. Oh, so exciting. When I saw her before Mariner said, wait, I think that's Lily. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Lily. Because they so captured her. They so captured her essence. It was beautiful. I was so excited. Oh.
And T'Pol is from Enterprise, of course, and you know Garrett from Voyager. And let's get in.
What's the actor that played T'Pol?
Jolene Blalock.
Yeah.
Jolene Blalock.
Yeah. Sirach, how did you feel about seeing your pals, Garrick and Bashir?
I couldn't believe they were on this episode. I was completely surprised. You know, when Siddig was doing the readings that he was doing for his Sid City shows, a lot of those readings were with Garrick and Sid and, you know, myself sometimes. And hearing them together again reminded me of those Sid City moments. And of course, I love Andrew Robinson. He's, you know, a tremendous talent. And I just couldn't believe I was hearing their voices again. It felt like a DS9 kind of reunion. They, you know, brought back a little bit of Curzon Dax. So I mean,
that was great.
These are familiar characters for me. So I love seeing them. I was so excited. And you know what? This show has paid the most homage to Deep Space Nine out of all of the new Star Trek.
Yeah.
This Star Trek has really gone out of the way to feature Deep Space Nine characters. We saw Quark on this show. We saw Kira on this show. We saw Deep Space Nine itself, the ship, you know,
and that was a Defiant. That was a Defiant class.
That was a Defiant, right?
It was called the Anaximander or something like that. What do they call it? The Anaximander,
Anaximander.
Which was really interesting because I kind of looked up why that name. And he was a Greek philosopher, pre-Socrates times, but he was also an astronomer that was the first to consider the sun a mass unto its own, and then the planets were something separate, so that they exist individually. And it's really fascinating, which is it really fits for the name of the ship.
That's great.
He's an astronomer. Yeah, so cool.
Anaximander.
So
yeah, that was cool. But that was the Defiant right there.
Yeah,
great.
This right here. This reminded me of the episode One Little Ship, where Jadzia is this big, and so is Miles, and so is Bashir.
And she goes up to Worf.
Yeah.
She's like, hi. Yeah. So, and they also got to play up on the coupling of Garak and Bashir, right? Which is fun because there have been so many fans that go like, nah, they're gay. They love each other. Look at those two. But, it's not canon. It could be. We don't know. It's a fan theory. But now when you're using a multiverse, you could say, all right, here you go. This is what it would look like. And it was freaking adorable and hilarious. And we loved it. I say we as fans, but I can't speak for all the fans. But it's great. And it doesn't change anything or break canon or anything like that, because it's another universe, just like Mariner in her gold uniform or Lily as a Starfleet captain.
Wasn't she?
It's awesome.
Well, maybe she is a captain, but I thought
she
called her
she had
Admiral.
the 4 pips. Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Did they call her Admiral?
I could be wrong. I may have misheard.
I don't know. I could be wrong too.
It could be wrong.
I thought Garak and Bashir's relationship was hilarious in this episode. Their couple fights were the best.
So good. Oh, and then when they were arguing over one of the Kims, there was this beam of rainbow light that was streaming down during their argument. I was like, that's so nice. That's so brilliant.
I just like them, where he was like, oh my God, I got to get a Bolian massage. I'll take you there one of these days.
at Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Oh. And then Bashir's like, oh, why don't you go get a massage from your Bolian friend? It was a great little
Bolian green. So here were the non-appearance mentions I counted.
Okay.
Trip, that's played by Connor Trinneer. Neelix, of course, we know Ethan Phillips. Spock, of course, Picard, Kirk, Worf, Troy, Riker, Janeway, Archer, and Zephram Cochrane.
And Jadzia.
Did they say Jadzia?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's add her in. I wasn't sure if they mentioned her.
Yeah, they said this is Curzon in an alternate universe before they gave the Stack symbiote to Jadzia.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Now, did you mention Archer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Tuvix?
I didn't know. There was Neelix. Was there a Tuvix?
Neelix.
I heard a Tuvix name. I thought there was a reference to Tuvix. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me put that. Here's what we're going to. We also have a free-for-all later in this episode, everybody at home. So they're going to correct our homework for us.
And did you also mention O'Brien?
Oh, Brian.
Was there an O'Brien?
Yeah, Garak mentioned him with when he was talking to Bashir.
Yes. Yes, very good.
Wow.
What did he say, though?
It was.
I don't think I took a note of it.
You and Bashir.
Oh, there it is.
You and O'Brien.
Racquetball. They talked about playing racquetball together. That's what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
In their cutie outfits. Remember there's little where Bashir is dressed up in that sleek onesie and O'Brien looks like he's going on a safari.
Still waiting for the cosplays on that.
Yeah, we're supposed to do that, Ryan. Come on.
Oh, really? Okay, but
oh, really?
I remember that. But then, if that's the case, which one of us wears which outfit is always the question.
I think it keeps going back and forth.
Let's see. Oh, I'll take O'Brien's outfit. You got the other one. That's all you. O'Brien's dressed like the movie Fletch. Who was that? Remember that movie Fletch?
Yeah, Fletch.
Chevy Chase. Yeah, Chevy Chase.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know. That's a very high-waisted stripe. It's kind of sports bra-y, this situation.
When you wear that, my only advice to you, Ryan, you got to point it down. Otherwise, it'll show up. Got to point downwards.
All right, I'll do that. This reminds me of the people at the gym that, the ladies at the gym that have those high-waisted pants, but they are like really, really, really high-waisted. And you're like, why are your pants so high? This is like, he puts them all to shame. This one's chill. This one's like, this is like business casual safari or something, but he's also a ninja.
What's with the, what's with the headband?
And wristband.
That is a strange outfit, actually.
It's like all different kinds of like cargo shorts.
It's a tennis player's sweatband on his wrist. He's got a Rafa Nadal head wrap, and then he's wearing a sweater.
Yeah, a medium sleeve sweater, a baseball sweater.
Exactly.
He wears when he goes kayaking.
Yeah. What did I do? All right.
Oh my gosh.
Those are not Starfleet issued shorts.
Man alive. I don't know which one. I just don't even know. And then Bashir had to wear that for like more scenes too. Then he goes and talks.
So they actually got all of these people. Like Siddiq was in this episode. Like he was in this episode. Because I was like, I was kind of saying that's not Sid.
Yeah,
and it sounds like him, but
is that
really him?
You know what? Let's talk about that on the other side of this break, because I have a few things to toss in that hat as well. So we're going to take a super quick break, everybody. We'll be right back on The Seventh Rule. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to That There Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton.
Hello, hello.
And Melissa Longo and myself. Here it comes. The trivioids of the day. Check these out. These are fun. Rutherford is working on Mariner's sparking Mariner's Ractigino. Boimler got transporter cloned. Man, these are tough already. Shax exploded and he's doing great. Most of William Boimler's crew is made up of Harry Kims. Multiverse is lazy derivative remixes. There was a Bolian Masseur on Deep Space Nine's Promenade, and Jonathan Archer is a big Starfleet nerd.
Woohoo.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of nerds. Nerds! Remember that movie, Revenge of the Nerds?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that, John Goodman, I think? Yeah. All right. So, Sirach, sorry. You were saying about Sid's voice. Was that really Sid's voice? It was really Sid. It was really Jolene, shockingly, because as far as I knew, she was not working anymore. She's a mother now. She's happy. She's doing her own thing. But they're like, you could literally just show up. We'll come to you. You can sit in your sweatpants and
or
slippers.
Probably could call over the phone. They probably could do it over the phone at this point. Yeah.
And that was really Andy Robinson, and that was really Garrett Wong, and that was really Alfred Woodard. Amazing.
Wow.
Love it. Love it. Love it that they got all those people.
Yeah, at first
it's a two-parter, so we're going to hear them again.
We're going to hear them again.
Maybe.
I hope. Maybe. Oh, yeah, they're sending it back to our Cerritos.
Right. You know, when you go to the Bolian massage, if you get a happy ending, it's called a bowl job.
You see, Melissa, there's certain massage parlors. Man.
I thought the jokes in this were great. I love. Oh my! I'd like a bowl job. I like the lines in this. There was one where to Paul says, she said, "I was married to." What did she say? "I was married to a human." I know sarcasm when I hear it.
Yeah.
I love that little line.
Yeah.
It was great. Curzan was like, "You smug Vulcan patak." I don't know why I love that so much, but
they were friends at the end, though. Kind of reminded me of Kirk and Spock there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Kirk and Spock-ish. But
no, we saw Curzon before, right? It was in one episode of DS9.
Yeah, just for like one scene.
Now, was that the same guy who
I
played
can't
that
imagine.
No.
Curzon? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we saw him in like one scene when it was just showing a flashback of moving the Trill over to Jadzia. And then we kind of met him when he inhabited Odo for a full episode. And Odo got his Ofro.
The hair.
Yeah.
Facets.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't remember.
Facets?
Facets.
Okay. That sounds accurate.
So, but talking about those actors, what I noticed was they sounded very different. Like, especially Sid. Sid sounded and to Paul, Jolene Blaylock.
Different, yeah.
But with Sid, it was like they get the instruction, speed it up, faster. So Sid would normally say like, "Oh, sir, it's about the blah, blah, blah," like that. But they're like, "No, there's no time for that. No time for nuance. Just get in there. Sir, it's a blah, 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 blah." And so that's why his voice sounded higher. It was more frantic, but that's the lower deck style. But that's why, Sirach, me too. I was kind of like, is that really him? And you're like, it's gotta be. It sounds like him, but he's delivering it totally differently,
Well, and maybe hologram Bashir would deliver it differently than our Bashir. And DePaul is how many years older than she was in Enterprise? She's quite a bit older than she was in Enterprise. So that's how
but with Garrick, it sounded to me almost like the same Garrick, though, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He spoke faster, but it was definitely the same voice and the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Lily. She sounded exactly like she did in the movie.
She did.
And who sounded different to me was Ensign Kim in the beginning. It took me a while to like
hear Garrett in there.
Yeah.
To find Garrett.
It took me a while. Like right away, I was like, is that really him? And then when the other ones started talking, I guess he changed it up a little bit because that was the evil Ensign Kim.
Yep.
Which
has got to be a great gig. Like they say, you get to play 10 different versions of yourself. So then there's like the evil one. There's and I was like, I thought he did a really good job of changing up his voice for the different characters. It's a fun job.
Yes.
But who is it? Ice-T said it. He said it's a fun job, but it's still a job. And it was a fun job, but it's still a job, and he did it well. I thought I was pretty impressed with all the different voices that he had to make them all sound different, but still kind of sound like him. So good for him.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the jokes there too, because they obviously played on the pips and the long ongoing ensign joke about Kim. And so they finally got to kind of address that elephant in the room and make it a subject of discussion. So it's no longer like, in the background taboo type of conversation. So I thought them making it a point of comedy was great because it makes it like lighter. It makes it okay to talk about. It's not so offensive. What they call him, Two Pip Kim. I thought that was a hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny.
I have 2 pips. Did you see the pips?
Yes. Two Pip Kim. And those little aliens. When they said that, I'm glad they didn't drink our bones. Were those the aliens that were the bone drinkers from early?
It was totally different. It's like Moopsie, but I thought the same thing. I was like, are they? But I guess they were just making a reference to Moopsie.
Your bones too, right? Okay, they were just making.
It was that little marshmallow guy that the one Moopsie. People love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh
what
my
I really
gosh.
liked about this episode is what they knew we would like, which is they gave us a lot of characters. Like some weren't terribly shocking. Like I thought, Ensign Kim, that made sense. I'm like, he's around, he's going to conventions, he's talking to these people, he's in Mike McMahon's ear, probably saying, "Hey, bro, anytime you let me know." Cool. And then also, Tom Paris has been on there, or Robbie Duncan McNeil. So
Right.
great to see, not a shock, right? The
Mhm.
ones that were a shock, though, Alfre Woodard was a shock. That's like,
That's a shock.
I never would have guessed that, because she was just in the one movie, very
Yeah.
pivotal role in that movie. Garrick and Sid was pretty surprising, because
I
he's
thought
out
Sid
in the
was
UK.
surprising to me too.
Yeah.
You haven't seen him around, and he's not like on all the conventions. He's not on the circuit that much, so it was surprising for me to hear him.
Yeah, and Jolene Blaylock is
That was
also very surprising, because
Yeah.
she, as far as we know, as far as a lot of people know, she's not working anymore. She's done. She's
right.
she's a family woman now. She's just doing her thing.
Yeah.
I was so glad to see her, though. See her back,
Absolutely.
because T'Pol was one of my. I think she's probably my favorite character. Well, I don't know. She's one of my favorite characters from Enterprise.
Yeah.
I love her growth, and I wanted to see more of her after Enterprise had finished, but we haven't. We haven't gotten much of her
Hey,
at all.
There are a lot of fans that wanted to see more of her.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, we only got 4
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah. Okay. We playing basketball.
But you know what I really loved about this episode, besides all of the familiar faces and the tons of names that we got, was that it was an actual Star Trek story that we were following along with. I loved being back on the Defiant. It felt like coming home again. And the story was engaging. I didn't want to stop watching. And I was talking to the television while it was going on, and this is always a good marker in my book. I was like, "No, what?" So yeah, and I was tearing up when Boimler was talking about his friends and how they can handle it, and I loved Boimler in this, and the new Mariner, the engineer Mariner, and Captain Boimler.
That was fun. It was fun to see Mariner be different. She's like, "Oh, I don't like to do things that are exciting or scary or whatever," she said.
She did it really well. Tawny is such a talent as well.
Uber talent.
So good.
The other thing I liked about this episode was one of the things that Boimler as a character, his growth throughout this show has been about trying to discover himself and find where he's comfortable in Starfleet, right? And when he had that duplicate Boimler and he met that guy, he felt like the other Boimler was living a better life than him, right? And he was like, "I want to be like him." He started to grow that beard, which actually looks good in this episode. It finally filled in. Boimler's beard filled in properly, and so he's been on this journey to find himself and find some kind of fulfillment. And I feel like showing us alternate Boimler in this, other alternate universe type thing, showed his frustration. So it's kind of like it's like that grass is always greener on the other side. Like you're always thinking, "Oh, they're having more fun. Oh, the single people are having more fun because they get to party and go out on dates, and then the married people are having more fun because they have found somebody and they get to love, and it's always the other side is what you're looking over there to see. Is it better on that side or is it better on this side? And I feel like this episode addressed that for Boimler's character, where we're seeing, hey, the other Boimler is envious of you. You know what I mean? Is he like on the opposite side? He doesn't want to be stuck in these missions. He's not enjoying himself like you thought he was. He's not living the dream that you thought he was, and he's actually wishing that he was back on the Cerritos. So I think that it's kind of a lesson to for people to appreciate where they are in their life, and and not always be looking on the other side. What else could I have, or what could be better? It's sometimes you got it good right where you are with your friends, like Rutherford and Tindy, and like those are your crew. And as much as I know you aspire to be this great captain and you want to be legendary, like Picard or whatnot, you have your own story and your own journey that you're on, and I think that this episode is starting to realize that for me, looking at Boimler's character, like
love that
he's, what I mean, he's getting he's getting a sense that the grass is not always greener on the other side.
So, Sirach, this isn't your subtle hint about when I said I want to join Mission Log instead of staying on the 7th rule.
This is what I'm trying to say.
It makes sense. Exactly, I get it now. Saying. The Orion is greener on the other ship. I got you. Shout out to our good friends over at Mission Log, part of the Roddenberry Network. Of course, they've been doing this forever. Good pals. What were you saying, Melissa? Sorry, that was a dumb joke, and I apologize. Please continue.
No, it's okay. No, I was just going to say how much I loved that they showed that Boimler and Mariner's friendship transcends universes and different universes.
Dimensions,
in dimensions, yes. Dimensions is what I love that. I love that. And I love that he trusts his friends so much and knows who they are so well that he can send this dire mission to them and know that they're going to pick it up and be able to figure it out together. I love that.
Some of the moments that I really I thought was hilarious was when Ensign Kim was, the 2-Pip Kim stole the ship and was taking off.
2-Pip Kim.
And they were trying to get him to, to surrender and come back. And he was like, that ship won't make it without the subspace gluons. And he's like, I only got 2 pips. I don't know. All that stuff's not going to like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You know what his favorite song is? 2-Pip. 2-Pip to Kim.
Oh, God.
I was trying to figure out how to legit work.
Yeah, it's going to work in there somehow. We need an extra syllable, but whatever. It's good enough.
But I did put in my notes, don't trust a promoted Harry Kim. His head can't handle it.
That's a good point.
Now we know why he didn't get promoted. Okay, that makes sense.
Actually, everybody, this is an important thing before we go into the free-for-all. We've got an Indiegogo campaign going on right now, and it's doing well. Click the link in the description box below, and you can help Sirach, myself, Melissa Longo, and the legendary Walter Koenig review Star Trek episodes. You can sponsor episodes, you can get shout-outs, you can get IMDb credits, you can meet Walter Koenig. What? You can find out why we call him Salty Walty sometimes. It's a good time. He's a great sport. He's a lot of fun. He's reviewing Star Trek episodes for the first time ever, watching them after almost 60 years. We have a great time. And right now, we're going to be doing season 5 and 6 of The Next Generation as well. It's going to be too much fun. So everybody go check out Indiegogo.com, type in the 7th rule, or just click the link in the description box below and join the team. Join the fun. It's going to be great. Yeah. Here are some people that have done that or similar. Woo-hoo. Our friends, Homer Frizzell, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, Eve England out in Wales, Yvette Blackman Tom, TJ Jackson Bay out in Missouri, Titus Moeller, Dr. Mohammed Noor, Tierney C. Diekman, Anil O. Palat, Joe Balsarati, Mike Gu, Dr. Stephanie Baker, Carrie Schwent, Faith Howell, Edward Foltz, My Live from Tokyo, the Matt Boardman, Chris McGee, Justin Weir, Jake Barrett, Henry Unger, Allison Leach Hyde, Julie Manasfi, Jed Thompson, Dr. Susan V. Gruner, Glenn Iverson, Dave Gregory, Tim Baum, a.k.a. Grandpa One, Chris Stern at the Wine Guy, Greg K. Wickstrom out in Hawaii, and of course, legends in their own right, Jason Oken and Chris Garris. All right, guys. Stick around. We've got the free-for-all up next. Looking forward to that. We will see you then. We'll be right back on the 7th rule.
Standing room only.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton.
Hello.
This is a special Lower Decks free-for-all with Melissa Longo, of course.
Oh, hello there.
Jason M. Oken is here.
Hey, everybody.
Allison Leach Hyde in her Romulan garb, kind of. Carrie Schwent, a.k.a. Crafty Bear Rad Shirt. And Chris Garris of Texas is driving around somewhere in Texas, probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this is a fun special edition. So, Melissa, you already joined us to talk about this episode quite a bit. So let's see what Jason M. Oken has to say. What do you say, Jason?
Well, one thing about sort of animated series of, Star Trek animated series is, there are different kinds of episodes. You can certainly have a lot of fun and throw out a lot of, just mention sort of, Easter eggs and nuggets and whatnot and make it funny. Or you can have a show that can actually translate pretty well into live action if you were to take the story and actually do it. And this one qualifies. One of the few, one of those episodes that does qualify. Frankly, it's perhaps my favorite of the season. It really tracks, and it could actually be a live action show. It could easily be adopted to be one of those, and it certainly has a story. It has a moral, if you will. It talks about exploration. It's just an exciting thing to watch. Along with everything else that comes with it, obviously you have all the cameos, but that's also fun. But beside all that, it really sort of keeps you captivated, and it's more of an adult story, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Jason, can I ask you which cameo shocked you the most?
I don't know which one shocked me.
Probably Jolene.
I think that's a good question for everybody. Allison Leach Hyde is here as well. What do you think of this one?
I loved this episode. I love that we started out in, the mess hall with our five. There's five of them. Hanging out, talking, and Rutherford sitting there trying to fix his Oculus One. I love that it's an Oculus. For that. So loved that. And that it's shocking him shooting plasma everywhere. And then we go to, what's other Boimler doing? And then we go find out. So I loved that. And I got a little teary when first time we saw T'Pol, I'm like, oh, that has to be T'Pol. And then she spoke. I'm like, it made me so happy. I'm like, yes, more T'Pol. I loved T'Pol. So getting more T'Pol and having her, of course, be from another reality and got to be married to Trip for 63 years. We get so much fan service in this episode. I really thought we earned it. And so it didn't feel like they were just like, look at the pretty things we're giving you. Right. It's like, we want this. So loved that. And I mean, having all of the Harry Chems was great too. It was so much fun. And they're funny and they're also happy. I love that the ensigns are happy and the lieutenant is not. And so I thought that was like my favorite. So much of this was my favorite. I'll probably say it way too much. And I like that we don't have a big bad this season. I think that's pretty great. That it's just science that is kind of run amok and we got to fix that. And so I loved that. And I really enjoyed Lily. I did cry when she showed up. I'm like, oh, are we? And then she spoke. I'm like, it's Alfred Woodard. Yeah, loved that. And I love her scene with Boimler about, but finding out about humanity is what we're exploring. And we can only do that if we go see all the aspects of humanity. And I thought that was beautiful, a wonderful scene. And the bit about how their friendship between Mariner and Boimler transcends all of these dimensions. And you just see each other and trust each other. Like it doesn't matter that it's not yours, that it's just, it is this being that's, I guess, somehow tied through all of these dimensions that you trust. And so that's why he's like, no, send it to mine. They'll fix it. And I'm like, that is lovely. Like I've been so sad this season watching. Like every episode has been bittersweet because I know we're coming up to the end. And it's also made me kind of like, do I want to watch it? Because then I have one less new one. I'm like, of course I want to watch it. But, there's just a little bit of bittersweet. But this episode has been fabulous. And I'm very much looking forward to the next one to see how we fix it.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Allison Leach Hyde. I was hoping we'd see T'Pol's siblings, Peter and Mary, but no luck there. Carrie Schwent, aka Crafty Bear. What's up, Carrie? What do you think of this one?
I love this episode so much. I'm here for any kind of multiverse shenanigans, no matter what the property, Marvel, Deadpool, all those different versions of Deadpool. It's like fan fiction for me, but brought to life is what the multiverse kind of makes me think of. I was watching this very early this morning at like 4:00 in the morning. So each and every cameo that came on, I had to keep my squealing like I was squealing, but I had to keep it silent because I didn't want to wake my cousin up. Because again, it was 4:00 in the morning when I watched it. But I love that they got all of the actors, and I was not expecting Lily. That was a pleasant surprise. I love T'Pol. The alternate Garrick and Bashir were so adorable. They were probably my favorite part, and I know there was a scene when they're in sickbay and the light coming through looked like a rainbow, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I loved it. But I love rainbows anyway. But the two of them together, the two of them were just so funny. And Garrick going, "Yeah, I have fun fighting with you. It's one of the things I love about us." I love that, but I love Garrick very, very much. To be continued. I'm like, but I have this tiny hope that because alas, poor Curzon, but the Dex symbiote is still there. So I'm hoping that when the Dex symbiote, I'm hoping we get to see an alternate Jadzia and we get Terry Farrell. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. Yeah. This is probably my favorite episode, probably of the series, just because of all the cameos. The DS9 one obviously being like very close second as far as favorites go, but I love this one so much. I can't wait to watch it later with my husband. It's gonna be very hard to hold my tongue and just not watch him the entire time to see what his reactions are going to be. If I can do it with Outlander, I can do it with this episode.
Are you going to stare at him like this?
I'm going to try not to. I'm going to really try to.
Great stuff.
I'm just glad he's not home yet to hear any of this.
Thank you so much, Crafty Bear. Chris Garris.
Oh, I did come up with a limerick.
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot about the limerick. Chris, you go, and then I'll do my limerick to finish.
All right. So best not be repeating almost what everybody else has already said, but yes, this was by far for me one of the best episodes of this season to date. I posted on X this morning and made a comment about it, and Garrett Wang, he actually liked my post and everything, so that was kind of cool. But it was just first off, I was not expecting T'Pol because Jolene and her thing with the franchise, but anyway, that was just awesome. I mean, gosh, Bashir, Garrick, making that fine, doing that thing. And then I laughed because it made me realize, Bashir was the EMH, which meant that in that multiverse, he was able to they used him as the template for the EMH, like they were going to do until his little genetic secret was outed on him. Which I thought that was funny. And yes, and I was surprised I guess I was surprised with DePaul, but then I was even more surprised when we got Lily. I'm like, what? Where in the how did they pull that one out of their brain? Wow. And it just, oh my goodness, it was so good. And yeah, of course, Boimler, and I like, and it, at first I was like, man, he's being a grouch, and he was being a grouch, but he hadn't had his little crew, which was he hadn't had Mariner, and just his whole attitude just completely changed the instant, like as soon as she beamed on this ship, like he was the happiest camper that could have been. And that really, that just pumped it up even more. Now it was a little interesting to see Mariner is not as, I mean, when she's in the corner, like, I have never been in prison before. She's so scared about it. Whereas, prime Mariner be like, just another day, just for, regular operation, standard operating for her. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And just also, again, all the Harry Kims, and just, honestly, for Garrett to have to play that many different iterations of himself, he did good, because because they all have to be a little bit different, and he got to play a bad Harry in a way, one stealing the ship, and like I said, the whole storyline for why they are traveling, and then when the Vulcan on, with Lillian says, basically, I told you that's what was going to happen. You didn't listen to me. And Vulcans, I feel like Paul would have said that too. And also, best thing of all, Trip's not dead. She was married to him for 63 years in her universe. So in that universe,
an excellent point.
Trip's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got to pick. I got to support those guys. Like I always do. And so yeah, I can't wait to see how. Well, I'm looking forward to see how they end it. I'm not happy about the fact that it is the end. And and that was what I said this morning. I tagged Mike, man. I said, man, this is just you knocked it out of the park and all this stuff. What did I actually say to them this morning? But it was, I said the latest episode of Lower Decks was superb. In my opinion, it's the best episode of the season so far. I can only imagine what the finale will be like. Great job at my fan, and I can't leave out at Garrett Wang. I'm looking forward to talking. Well, yeah. Anyway, talking tonight about it. So it was good. They better pick it up. Somebody better write a check and pick this series up. Or we just just do a crowdfund, Indiegogo or something.
You have to raise a lot for that.
I know. Dream, right?
Yeah. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Chris Garris out in Texas. Actually, Melissa, you said you've got some more things to toss our way, right?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to throw in there that one, I've watched this episode way more times than I think I have any other new episode. And because I think I agree with what most people have said here, and it's probably my favorite Lower Decks episode. And what I think that this episode does so well, or has done for Lower Decks in general, they stick with the theme of hope. There's always some kernel of hope, which is so Star Trek. This is such a Star Trek theme that hope wins out. Hope will win out, and Lily said that, and promoted that very well in this, and the theme of family, and because Boimler and Mariner and all of these, Tendi and Rutherford, they're all family. Everyone's on the Cerritos is family. And the Harry Kims are family. And so yeah, it's family. And yeah, Starfleet is a family ultimately, because we have Lily and we have T'Pol and we have Curzon and we have all these amazing Garrick and Bashir. And I loved this because, as I said earlier in the previous segment, this episode felt like coming home. And so I loved it so much.
Oh, and did we get everybody's most shocking reveal? I mean, Jason said Jolene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else?
Yeah, he did.
Alfred, like getting Alfred, that was amazing.
Same.
I thought the character of Lily was the most out of left field that I would have never expected, but I thought the actress of Jolene Blaylock was the most shocking get.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they get her? But
exactly. That's my thing. It's how did they get her? And then you're right. As for Lily, that was just completely not even. But again, Jolene, that's the main reason why I'm saying for me it was Jolene. It's just because of how hard it would. I don't know what they had to offer her to get her to do this.
I'm so glad
probably
she's
that
back.
she doesn't even have to go into hair and makeup and a cat suit and nothing like that. They just anyway. It's Jake's final take, everybody.
Well, Carrie's got a
limerick.
Her limerick.
Sorry, Carrie. Yeah,
that's okay. And in a previous free for all we did a while back that I mentioned that I wanted like a Dreamcast or something. I wanted Harry Kim to have the promotion he deserved, and one of the Harry Kims got his promotion, and I loved all the different Harry Kims. I thought it was hysterical. So naturally, the limerick had to be about him. So many Kims, none have a promotion. You guys got 2 pips, the rest have noted. They don't seem too jealous. We want details. Please tell us. Too bad. His wits seem to have eroded.
Excellent. Well worth the wait. Jake's final take. Penultimate episode of the series. Sirach, what do you think?
I think it's up there. I do think it's up there. I did like to see that they made Dr. Bashir EMH. That was fun. The relationship with him and Andrew Robinson, I thought that was hilarious. Them back and forth, arguing like a couple and talking about bullying massages. I thought that was hilarious. Another name for this episode could have been Mission Kim Possible.
Oh,
that's my submission. Because I saw Fissure Quest and I wasn't sure what Fissure Quest exactly was referring to. Wasn't as obvious.
Don't ask Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel because the answer she had about that was
it's pretty
unpleasant.
anal.
Okay. I loved a lot of the lines in this episode. One of them was, "You Kim's okay." I love that one. It was kind of hilarious. Like a blanket question to all the Kims, right? "You Kim's okay." Mariner had one of my funniest lines too. She said, "Damn you, 2-Pip Kim." I love that. That was hilarious. But my favorite line of the episode goes to Curzon Dax when he said, "Calm down. Everybody's going to get their ass kicked."
Yes.
You don't have to wait. Just be patient.
Love it.
Yeah. Excellent. Also, they mentioned that they noticed that the shortest Kim was actually the one that was the lieutenant. He was the 2-Pip squeak. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Allison. I don't deserve that. That's it for us, everybody. One episode left. It's going to be bittersweet, kind of like Allison's favorite chocolate. And she's going to have a lot of chocolate right now. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us, everybody. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications. As Jason M. Oken says, don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. Haha. That's what he says. See you next time. Thanks to Chris Garris, Carrie Schwent, Allison Leach Hyde, Jason M. Oken, Melissa, for myself, Sirach, Melissa, and Aaron Eisenberg. We appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next time. Always remember the 7th rule.